In today's show, brace for impact. After hitting $42,000, the Bitcoin price volatility may rise. We'll be discussing what's likely to happen to the Bitcoin price right here in today's show. Also in today's episode, Max Kaiser just tweeted, Bitcoin can't get to 220,000 this year, which FYI is his target for 2021, without both the USD collapse and political chaos. Fortunately, both are right on schedule. Thanks, Satoshi. Touche. And as Dan Held points out, quoting the mutual fund legend Bill Miller, one of the things that's interesting about Bitcoin is that it gets less risky the higher it goes. And Max Kaiser chimed in, exactly. Buying Bitcoin at $100 was riskier. Buying Bitcoin at $40,000 is one of the least risky moves you can make. He ain't telling no lies. Also in today's episode, a tidal wave of capital could bring Bitcoin's price to $14 million per BTC, according to Microstrategy'S Michael Saylor. He revealed this on this exclusive interview he just recently did with MMCrypto. Saylor ballparks between 100 trillion and 300 trillion, which could seek a store of value in Bitcoin, and that's just in today's money. If Bitcoin were to reach the 300 trillion market cap Saylor outlines, that would bring each Bitcoin to more than $14 million. I'll be breaking all this down for you in today's show. Also breaking news, as Kevin Rook tweeted, Morgan Stanley just filed an SEC form declaring they now own almost 800,000 shares of MicroStrategy, which means $300 million worth of Bitcoin. Not too shabby, right? Also in today's show, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin's hovering around that $41,000 price mark. Ethereum is in the red, but where's the Bitcoin price likely to go next? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. So be sure to smash that subscribe button, that's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, including weekends, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, if interested in purchasing Bitcoin, Swan is the easiest and most affordable way to accumulate BTC so you can start stacking those sats with automatic reoccurring purchases. You can start your plan today and get $10 of free Bitcoin drop right into your account. To do so, click the link right below this video in the description or visit my direct referral link, which is swanbitcoin.com/Crypto News Alerts. So go ahead and do that right now, and let's start stacking those sats, shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. We have a lot to discuss, so let's dive right in, shall we? The price of Bitcoin achieved a new all-time high, above $42,000 on January 8th, surging by 9% in merely 3 hours. And at the time, there was a high premium on Coinbase, which meant U.S. buyers drove up the market by aggressively accumulating BTC. But there is continuous selling pressure coming from Asia, particularly from South Korea. Very interesting, right? Bitcoin corrected sharply after rising to 42,000, declining by over 7% in about 8 hours. The sell-off coincided with significant whale activity across the major exchanges. Trading activity in the altcoin futures market also demonstrated a similar trend. For instance, on January 9th, a whale unloaded a big portion of Ethereum longs on Bitfinex, taking profit for the first time since March 12th. Now, whales have also been selling en masse since the start of 2021. As an example, when Bitcoin price first surpassed $40,000, large whales began to sell Bitcoin even as the price fell below 40K. Within 3 hours on January 7th, so-called mega whales on Binance sold off a total of 4 times, driving extreme volatility. So where is Bitcoin price likely heading next? Let's discuss it. Currently, the Bitcoin market is essentially seeing a battle between whales taking profit on their positions and new buyers in the US market accumulating BTC. As such, there has been constant extreme volatility ever since Bitcoin surpassed 30K. Due to the high inflow of capital into Bitcoin through Coinbase, the upside momentum of Bitcoin would likely be sustained in the foreseeable future. The key metrics to observe right now are Bitcoin outflows from Coinbase and stablecoin inflows into major exchanges. When high net worth investors purchase Bitcoin, they prefer to move the BTC out of the centralized exchanges for security purposes. Hence, high Coinbase outflows could mean a heavy accumulation of BTC in the United States. And when stable inflows are high, it suggests that sideline capital is moving back into the Bitcoin market rather than cashing out to fiat currencies such as the US dollar. Traders within the crypto exchange market, particularly derivative traders, traders park their funds into stablecoins. Therefore, if capital stored in stablecoins begins to move back into the cryptos, it typically suggests a bullish market structure. So there you have it. And generally, the market sentiment around Bitcoin remains positive despite an upsurge throughout the past 3 months. Eric Wall, Chief Investment Officer of Arcane Research, shared in a tweet that Bitcoin has the potential to see a very extreme peak this time around. This would mean that even if Bitcoin could be overheated based on technical indicators in the near term, BTC could still have room for additional growth. And as Eric Wall points out right here, here's a help thread for those who are thinking about when to sell. He points out nobody really knows where the top is. Those who draw lines on charts are generally clueless. Don't trust them. Contemplate not selling. Why do you want to sell? You will most likely lose money if you try to trade. And he ain't telling no lies. Check out this entire thread. It's really good. I'll include it in the show notes below the video in the description. And at the current price of around now 41,000, the market cap of Bitcoin is valued at over 740 billion, given gold's valuation of 9 trillion. This would put Bitcoin's market cap at about 8.2% of gold's. Bullish projections for Bitcoin, like the thesis of the Winklevoss twins, anticipate Bitcoin to overtake gold over the long term. Based on this assessment, some analysts say that Bitcoin reaching a 10 to 20% of gold's market cap is realistic. Wall noted that Bitcoin will likely peak when there is ostensibly a lot of froth in the market. If there is an unnaturally high level of retail excitement around Bitcoin, the probability of a temporary Bitcoin top would increase. However, Wall said that given the unprecedented level of institutional interest in Bitcoin, the next top could be much higher than many imagine. He goes on to share, the reason is because our current macroeconomic climate is unprecedented. Our economy is being flooded with money. On top of that, we've just witnessed an unbelievable level of endorsement from the financial elite in favor of Bitcoin. And we know that this time that the price is being driven both by institutions and retail at the same time now. That's a fact. Now, what are the key technical levels to keep your eyes out on right now? According to researchers at WhaleMap, a data analytics platform that tracks Bitcoin whales or high net worth investors, there are 2 key technical levels for Bitcoin in the near term. As long as Bitcoin remains above 38,719 and 38,700, which are the 2 major whale cluster areas, the researchers said that the bull trend of Bitcoin remains intact, as you can see right here on your screen. Now, whale clusters form when whales accumulate Bitcoin at a certain price point and do not move their holdings afterwards. Clusters are theoretically ideal support areas because whales would look to accumulate more at levels they previously bought Bitcoin at if the price of Bitcoin dips. The researchers noted support at 39,719 and validation below 38,700. Gap in supports between 39,719 and 32,180. So consolidating in a bear zone could bring us down to $32,000. On January 9th, Bitcoin's price fell to as low as 38,700, recovering strongly. And I'd like to point that out. As soon as we witness a dip, it rises right back up, which is a great bullish indicator. This indicates that some whales are accumulating at this level, protecting it as a short-term support area to keep the Bitcoin rally moving. All right, and before I break down the latest tweets from Max Kaiser, as well as a tidal wave of capital, which could bring Bitcoin's price to $14 million, according to Microstrategy'S Michael Saylor, let's first take a quick look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin in the red, down about 0.75%, but still trading above 40,800. We have Ethereum down about 2%, trading at $1,222, and all the other major altcoins minus Litecoin are actually starting to break out and in the green. All right, now let's check out the latest tweets from Max Kaiser. He wrote, Bitcoin can't get to 220,000 this year, which FYI is his price target. He recently revealed in an interview with Daniela Cambone of Stansberry Research, without both the US dollar collapsing and political chaos, fortunately, both are right on schedule. Thanks, Satoshi. He's right. And if you missed this tweet from Max the other day, this is really good. My 2021 Bitcoin target is $220,000. I'm lifting my short-term target to $65,000, and he lists a bunch of reasons on why he's bullish. Coinbase IPO Q1, Bitcoin supply gaps widen, hash rate heading to 275 exahashes per second, political chaos accelerating, money printing exploding, gold price suppression continues. When is the Kraken IPO? And also this morning, Dan Hell quoted the mutual fund legend Bill Miller. One of the things that's interesting about Bitcoin is that it gets less risky the higher it goes. And Max chimed in, exactly. Buying Bitcoin at $100 was riskier. Buying Bitcoin at $40,000 is one of the least risky moves you can make. Touche. And before I break down our next story of the day, tidal wave of capital could bring Bitcoin's price to 14 million, according to Microstrategy'S, Michael Saylor. But let's first take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at almost $1.1 trillion with just under 154 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. And current Bitcoin dominance is 70.1%. Now checking out the Bitcoin market cap, sitting at a whopping $762.4 billion. Now let's check out the top gainers within the top 100. We have Satoshi Vision up 35%, trading at 235 bucks. A BBC coin up about 29%, trading just below 24 cents. Avalanche up 27%, trading at about $6.50, and Bitcoin BEP2 up 23%, trading just above 40,200. Now checking out the biggest losers within the top 100, we have Engine Coin down 17%, trading at 20 cents. Nano down 15%, trading at $3.80. Hedera Hashgraph down 12%, trading at 5 cents. Decentraland down 11%, trading at 11.6 cents, and Energy Web Token down almost 10%, trading at $6.79. Now, out of this list of the biggest gainers and losers, which altcoins in particular are you most bullish on? Drop me a comment right down below. Now, checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 93 in extreme greed. Yesterday a 93, last week a 94, and last month a 94, all of which is within extreme greed. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a buying opportunity, aka BTFD. Buy that freaking dip. When investors are getting too greedy, like we're witnessing in the market right now, that means the market is due for a correction. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day, shall we? MicroStrategy Chief Executive Michael Saylor is envisioning a future where hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of investments can push the value of Bitcoin to as high as $14 million. If that excites you, let me know in the comments right down below. In a new interview with YouTuber and Bitcoin trader MMCrypto, Saylor, who has placed massive personal and corporate bets on Bitcoin, says he believes a scenario in which Bitcoin capsizes gold and moves on to take a chunk of other markets is possible. He goes on to share, I think that demonetizing gold gets you to $500,000, and that's simply pulling all the monetary energy off of the gold rock from gold bugs who believe is a store of value and a safe haven. It's important to note there are a lot of organizations and a lot of investors that don't use gold as their safe haven. They use government debt, sovereign debt, and so cash is a safe haven and sovereign debt is a safe haven, and other safe haven people use as a store of value is the index funds. So all told, I think there's between 300 and 400 trillion worth of fiat instruments, including cash, debt, stock, commercial real estate, indices. If you look at all of that, between 50% and 75% is simply seeking a store of value as a container. Like when I buy the S&P 500 index or the Vanguard fund, I'm not buying it because I equally love all 500 S&P stocks equally in proportion to their market caps. I bought the index because I had $1 million and I knew if it was cash, it would be debased in purchasing power. And so I needed to put it into something which was going to return more than the economic hurdle rate or the cost of capital. And before I break down to how Michael Saylor derived this $14 million per BTC price prediction and we get into the nitty gritty, first I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 660 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. I also have some very helpful resources for you to plug into. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button right below this video to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, including weekends, just like this. You can also find me on Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, as well as Apple, iTunes, and all the major podcasting platforms. You can also follow me on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. My Twitter handle is Crypto News. Yes. And for those of you active on Facebook, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy. To join it, click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram, as I am, I do have a private crypto Telegram chat, which is uncensored. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down the rest of this bullish price prediction from Michael Saylor, who ballparks that between 100 trillion and 300 trillion could seek a store of value in Bitcoin, and that is just in today's money. If Bitcoin were to reach the 300 trillion market cap Saylor outlines, that would bring each Bitcoin to more than $14 million. If that excites you, let me know in the comments below. He goes on to share in this interview interview. So ultimately, the amount of monetary energy in the world that's looking for a safe haven store of value has got to be between 100 trillion and 250 trillion dollars. Why not all of it? Why not 300 trillion or 350 trillion, the total sum of everything? He continues, in theory, all monetary energy that's simply looking for a store of value safe haven index should presumably drain out of real estate, cash, stocks, and bonds and into the Bitcoin network. And as that happens, the price discovery will return to real estate and bonds. The top is more than $100 trillion. It's somewhere between 100 trillion and 300 trillion in today's money. And to watch this entire exclusive interview between Michael Saylor and MMCrypto, check out the show notes below the video in the description. Also, breaking news, as Kevin Rook points out, Morgan Stanley just filed an SEC form declaring they now own 792,627 shares of Microstrategy, which is almost 11%. And as he points out right here, that's actually a 455% increase, up from the 142,908 shares in Q3. And as a document in Bitcoin points out, that's approximately $300 million worth of Bitcoin. All right, now for a quick recap of what I covered with you right here in today's show. Brace for impact. After hitting $42,000, the Bitcoin price volatility may rise, as I discussed with you right here in today's show. And as Max Kaiser points out, Bitcoin can't get to 220,000 this year without both a US dollar collapse and political chaos. Fortunately, both are right on schedule. Thanks, Satoshi. Max also recently lifted his short-term Bitcoin price target to now $65,000. Let me know when you feel we're likely to smash this number. And also in today's show, I shared that a tidal wave of capital could bring Bitcoin's price to $14 million per BTC, according to Microstrategy'S Michael Saylor. Also in today's show, I shared that Morgan Stanley just filed an SEC form declaring they now own almost 800,000 shares of MicroStrategy. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right. And turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And real quick before I go, if interested in purchasing Bitcoin, Swan is the easiest and most affordable way to accumulate BTC, so you can start stacking those sats with automatic reoccurring purchases. You can start your plan today and get $10 of free Bitcoin drop right into your account. So go ahead and do that right now by clicking the link right down below this video in the description, or visit my direct referral link, which is swanbitcoin.com/crypto news alerts. Also, just FYI, tomorrow I will be on an airplane heading back to Puerto Rico, so I will not be going live. We will resume on Monday, but as always, I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Peace.